Anger is the root core of why I write songs. Sometimes I barely think I'm in control of myself when I'm writing. If there's such things as guardian angels out there, well, mine's a real bleeding piece of work. There's a great deal of forethought and experience that goes into these things, you see, in the preamble, in my life in general. Once I'm on, then the words just flow. And when I'm on, I'm on. Whatever that thing in me is, it keeps me going, and being like this, and being relentless, and understanding things in my way, it's not so far-fetched, after all, from the rest of humanity. It really isn't. We all go through this, but I'm just the one who gets up and says it. I come from the dustbin. I was born and raised in a piss-poor neighbourhood in North London, which was pretty much what you'd imagine Russia to be today. It was very, very controlled. Everything. And the presumption of control, too. And people were being born into this shitstem, as the Jamaicans call it, of just believing that others had the right to dictate to them in that way. Like I said to the royal family, you can ask for my allegiance, but you certainly can't demand it. I'm not anybody's cannon fodder. I don't think that way of thinking had really come into the British psyche for many years. It had done in previous centuries, but it had been nullified, shall we say, through the Victoriana approach. The British have a really delicious history of civil disorder, but by the time the Second World War was over, it had all been mollycoddled under the carpet and was not mentioned in history lessons. But for some of us out there who love to read, well, look what we found. I could read and write at the age of 4 or 5. My mum taught me, but after I got meningitis, aged 7, I lost everything. All my memory, including who my mum and dad were. It took a long time to come back. I'd go to the library after school and just sit there and read until the place closed. Mum and Dad were very good. They trusted me that I'd find my way home, even though many a time I couldn't. I'd literally forgotten where I lived. I loved getting back into reading, though, history, geology, or anything about wildlife, and then later I progressed into Dostoevsky. By 11 I was finding Crime and Punishment very insightful, very miserable, but sometimes when you wallow in other people's misery and dourness, it's fulfilling and rewarding. Like, well, sod his luck, I'm a lot higher up the ladder of tragedy than him. So books were incredibly important, my life preservers. There have been conversations here in the United States about why every ex-president opens a library when politicians do not read the books. Hello, America. Kind of explains your politics. For me, reading saved me. It brought me back. And I found myself in there, so when the memories and bits came back, they kind of made sense to me, and I realized I was the same person that I was before I lost everything. It's just I was ever so much better at it and able to look at myself and go outside of myself and ask, look, what do you think you're doing? Try getting it right instead of just bumping into situations without any forethought. Maybe I was being hard on myself there. What am I expecting from myself up to the age of 7? But I'm very, very demanding of me, and that's always going to be the case. Nobody can write anything really that bad about me that I haven't already thought of, and half the time when they're really being hateful, I go, phew, they let me off lightly. As you will soon find out, I am my own hardest taskmaster, and this book is all part and parcel of me researching myself, a lifelong and ongoing process. Back in my late teens, I was definitely ready for something. I was fully loaded, and it happened in a most amazing way, because it wasn't anything I was looking for. But as soon as, "Would you want to sing in our band?" came in, it was, wow, yeah, cool, now all the pieces fit. And I wasn't going to give it up too damn easy. I was very resilient even with the others not turning up at the first rehearsals, and all of the other negatives that befell the early Sex Pistols. I didn't arrive with notebooks full of lyrics, they just came straight out. I use my brain as a library. I like to keep notes, but usually I'm very dismissive once I've written things down.